New at 10, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Representative Adam Schiff have joined the list of Democrats calling for Joe Biden to drop out of the presidential race. That's according to ABC News. And the New York Times is reporting tonight that Biden is, quote, more receptive to hearing arguments about stepping out of the race. And ABC 7's Tyon Marshburn looks into what would happen if Biden were to exit his re-election campaign. She joins us live now. Tyon?
Stephanie, Biden has been adamant that he is the best candidate for the Democratic Party, and he says that he is fully capable of beating former President Trump.
This is one of the reasons why I think this is complicated. By all standards, the easiest thing is that he steps down as president, allowing the vice president to come up.
Dr. Richard Pineda, the director of the Sam Donaldson Center for Communication Studies at UTEP, says frontrunners follow logical pattern, which is the vice president becoming the presidential candidate and a new vice president being selected.
One of the things that a lot of viewers may not know is that the convention rules, the actual way that the parties select their candidates, are written by the party. They're not federal law. There's no legislation that governs it. So conceivably, they could write rules that would allow exactly the candidates they want to come in.
Dr. Pineda adds, with issues such as women's reproductive health being a big focus, having a female candidate for presidency would have a major important impact. He explains the effects of a brokered convention.
In other words, we start the convention, we don't know who the candidates are, and we won't know until the very, very end. I actually think that could spell a real disaster for the Democratic Party going into the general election.
I asked Dr. Pineda if a situation like this has ever happened in U.S. history.
Kind of recent contemporary example is that towards the end of his second term, President Ronald Reagan, the stories had started to come out that he was dealing with a lot of mental fatigue issues, things that seemed to get worse as things went along. But I don't think that anybody really knew about it before before the end of his second and final term.
Dr. Pineda says whatever decision President Biden makes is going to have a huge impact on what we experience from now into the Democratic convention. Reporting live, Tyon Marshburn, ABC 7.